So, I've been having a really big think lately just about gender and the dysphoria of it all and the mess that gender is and how, I guess, my gender expression doesn't fall into a binary and how that is very confusing at times. What do I mean about that? Well, I'm not confused as in like, do I want to be a boy, do I want to be a girl? I know I don't want to be a girl, I don't want to be female, but I don't want to be that typical Aussie bloke male, you know, kind of crap either, you know? And I think if you sort of look at it like, I guess my question for myself is, if I don't want to be either of these things, do I fall under the trans umbrella? If you imagine, now I'm going to put this in an overly, stupidly simplistic way. Okay, there's a beautiful arched bridge, a beautiful ornate arched bridge, and on one side there's a big, you know, fat M, and the other side there's a big fat F, you know, representing you know what. And if I, you know, started my journey on the M side, and I'm sort of walking, and I've sort of stopped about halfway or a little bit further, and I've sort of stopped there and gone, yeah, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Stop right here. And you know, set up my camp, set up my little tent, and you know, set up my wigs and you know, my makeup station, but also, you know, haven't lost sight of the other side of the bridge. I think that's sort of where I've found myself lately, you know, and I think for the last few years, really, that's where I have found myself and developed myself. And like I said, that's very simplistic because gender is such a big, vast, messy sort of a cloud of things. It's a whole range of things for cis folk and for queer folk and everything in between. And that's the amazing thing about gender expression, is that it is so vast and it falls under so many things. And I really do notice that when I start to think about like what I'm attracted to. And I know that I'm not attracted to just one, you know, or the other, and no one really is ever. Really, are they just attracted to macho men or pretty feminine girls, like, unless they got something to prove, you know what I mean? And I think that when I look at the things that I'm attracted to in people, and the best way I can articulate it is that I'm attracted to those energies, those masculine and those feminine energies, in that swirling combination within people and in different forms. For example, I find Rooney Mara incredibly attractive. I find Dita Von Teese incredibly attractive. And incredibly attractive in a weird sort of confliction. On one side, almost I'm like, I want to be you. And then on the other side, I was sort of, you know, I want to kiss you as well, you know. But I also find Shia LaBeouf and Niall Horan very attractive, but in that same confliction of that, you know, embodiment and also that desire to be with. And you just sort of go with it, you just roll with it. It's not a confusion, it's just those energies and how those energies interact with your own energies that you put out to the world. If I'm sort of departing from, you know, the cis side and not reaching the other cis side, I have no desire to reach either, you know, of those polar binaries that we've constructed in our society, then I fall under the trans/queer umbrella. And so I guess I'm kind of trans for life, you know? But I think anyone who makes that very important step to step away from those traditional gender roles and make that walk across the bridge, whether it's a little way, whether it's all the way across, whether you stop in the middle, or whether you just jump off the goddamn bridge altogether, I think that's incredibly fine. I think that's so beautiful. And like I said, it's an incredibly simplistic way to look at it, because obviously it's not so much more like a bridge as it is like a series of walkways, but we'll get in, like, I can't, you know, that's going to be a very confusing metaphor to go into, but I'm very proud to be within the T and within the Q of the LGBTIQ community. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to talk to you all soon. Mwah. Bye.